Okay, so anyways, I got this Palomar 300A, and I guess the relays could have been just from sitting for so long. They were dirty and sticky, and anyways, I was like, well, I'll just buy some new relays and be done with it. But the relays, they're like $75 US each and stuff, and that was like the cheapest one I could find. They don't make them anymore, so I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So what I did is I took a razor and I got the relays open, and I noticed like they weren't that bad. They were just dirty and stuff, but and then the other thing is where the relays contact in here, if you bend these things, just tweak them a little bit so that it will contact a different area on here. If it's in the same area, it might be worn, but if you move it up just a little bit, there's like a fresh spot for it to contact. So anyways, I used some good old lighter fluid and cleaned up all the relays with the piece of paper, and the little leaf springs also on there. There's these little leaf springs on here. I just kind of tweaked them, bent them a little bit to give it a little bit more pressure, so that when it kicks off, there's a little bit more pressure to hold it off, or whatever it is, off, on. But in the not connected, or the whatever state it's in when the relay isn't activated. So I just hooked one up here just to show you. And so if I turn this on, you can see there, makes a good connection. Every time. And if I go over to this one, this was the one that was given the most trouble in the resting position, whatever you want to call that. And so if I activate the relay, it connects to the other connection, and then when I undo it, it closes the connection again. And that was the one that was sticking. You'd have to click your mic and monkey around to get the receive to come back. So I mean, that works perfect. So I'll test this other side here. And that's a good sign. That's the first time I've tested that side. So that's working. And I'll activate this again. And yeah. Hey, sorry about that. My stupid battery died. But yeah, there's like a donate link on my channel. If somebody wants to donate a couple bucks, I mean, I could buy some new batteries, because these ones won't hold a charge anymore. So, and I'm like totally broke. But so click that, and it seems to work good. I guess the real test will be when it's under load. But now this side should come on when I hit the relay. That seems to work perfect. So, instead of spending, I don't know how much, man, like $75 US for a relay, like that's just, they're just robbing people, man. Like this one site, Ralph's Electronics, I looked on their site and it's like, oh, they got some. So I looked and they're like $6.92 or something each, so like $6.92. And I'm like, wow, I'm gonna get, 4 of them, have a couple for backup, and so I emailed them just in case. And I emailed them, I'm like, so, do you got these in stock for sure? And, everything's on the up and up. And he's like, oh, I'll check. And I don't see any in stock, but I'll check, I'll check my warehouse or whatever and phone you back. And I got him to just email me back, and he emailed me back, and they're like, yeah, it's, I think it was 75 or 95. I mean, something like close to $100 plus freight each. And I'm like, what? Like $100 for a relay? I was like, that's just not going to happen, man. So, I mean, you can get other relays that will work, but they're not the same pin out, so you'd have to like hardwire them in there. And I mean, I guess I could do that if I have to, but I'm going to try this first. And I mean, it seems to be working. Like the relays, they're not all charred and turned blue hot, or they're not black and burnt or nothing like that. They just they just been sitting and oxidized a little bit, sitting for 30 years or whatever the hell, and they've oxidized. So I cleaned them up the best I could, but I could still see a little bit of oxidization on there. I just I couldn't get it off. And so if I like I was showing you there, where I've tweaked these little ears that hold the relay arms on here, these little ears, if you just tweak them up a little bit, like you might be able to see that arm move a little bit. But anyways, if you just tweak it a little bit, with your needle nose, get them on there and just slightly tweak them, watch that little arm raise, and then tweak it up a little bit. That way, where the relay contacts, if it's got a worn out spot here, if you move it up just a little bit, it's like brand new again. There's like a fresh spot there to contact. So, I mean, that's what I'm going to do, and it seems to be working. So I'm gonna hold these closed. Like these were sealed and I had to open them with like a razor blade, but I'm just gonna press these closed, and then just a little drop of crazy glue, here and there, and then I'm just gonna wrap some Scotch tape around it to give it a really, the best seal I can. Some of these are vented anyway. Some of them have a little vent hole with some Scotch tape over it. Like in the factory, they'd mount these on a board, and then they'd wash the board off with alcohol or whatever the hell they use in the factory. They might even immerse them, who knows. And then after they're done, they peel that piece of tape off so that it can vent. And I guess without that vent, apparently it oxidizes quicker. Maybe the ozone created or something that's, if it can't vent, it won't last as long. But these are supposedly good for 10 million clicks. You can use this relay 10 million times. I don't know anybody that's going to key their amplifier 10 million times, in a whole lifetime. Like you might key up 1,000 times a day. I mean 1,000, 100 maybe. So I mean 100 times a day times a million days. Like that's a fucking long time, man. But they obviously don't last 100 million clicks. I guess the problem is sitting, like just sitting, not being used. The contacts are touched together, and I don't know what gets in between them, but maybe oxygen, whatever. But just eventually the two pieces of metal touching, it oxidizes, a chemical reaction, or who knows what, electrical, stray RF, God knows. So, but anyway, so that's what I'm doing. I'm taking them apart, cleaning them, and giving them a little tweak, and hopefully that saves me like, I don't know, $300 Canadian for a couple of relays, probably by the time it's said and done. So I decided to show that because, you know, there's tons of these relays out there, and obviously they're toast, and I've seen people asking, you know, what's going on, my receive's not working, this, and gotta click the mic and the keys up 5 or 6 times and then it won't receive again, and I gotta click the mic, and so that's what it is, these stupid little relays. And this is what I'm doing to try and fix them. Hopefully that helps you. Thanks, bye.